Okay. Hey guys, well, welcome to another edition of Convention Attention here, our 12th episode, completing our year-long cycle. It is Friday night, June the 16th, 2017. Brian Spinski here as always, and we got a lot of guys, Joey aside here. Yes, I know, Joey. we got a lot of guys here, here in the group, including a couple of faces we haven't seen in a while here on either side of the podcast, and a couple of new faces as well. Let's get the usual bits out of the way here as I try to distract Joey. Scott Goldsteiner here as always. And I have a deck of cards.
The big C, Charles Berman's here.
Wait, Scott, why do you have a deck of cards on you?
It's just on the table, and I've been cleaning up the table, so I found my deck of playing cards.
Pick it up here. Okay, and Chuck Berman, here as well, and the computer is working this time. You said yes. Okay, yes. So hopefully, you won't be tapping out 50 million times here.
Hopefully not.
Yes, yeah, that's all we need.
My laptop finally crashed on me.
I think it was trying to tell you something all the time. So, all right, a couple of old faces returning with us. Okay, first the gentleman whose face you can't see or whatever, Angelo D'Argenio. He joined us way back for our Broken Sonic podcast back in last summer. How you doing, Angelo?
I'm doing good. You can see my face. I'm just staying very still. That's actually a camera.
That's one way of looking at it. That's for sure. Or whatever. Glad to see it. We missed you around here. It's I like having these cards.
Life's been busy, man. You know how it is.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm glad I've only got a week of school left. All right, and another face who really haven't seen in forever, from over on the Game Show Talking Fun side, David Hammond's joining us. David, you made it finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
He's alive.
We're doing all right here. Like say, I felt bad. You kept having to miss because of you've been doing a lot of refereeing and stuff like that over the course of the year. You're still doing all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I still do it. The season's over right now. So I'm here for a while.
Yeah, because you do basketball stuff, you do martial arts stuff, and
yeah.
I'm trying to remember what were there any other sports you did tournaments with?
Football.
Oh.
Football, basketball, martial arts, and boxing.
And boxing?
Yeah.
Yikes. Man.
Amateur boxing.
Yeah, I didn't even realize you had that one. I knew about the martial arts because you told me some stories about some controversies. But anyway, so
is anyone else going to point out the irony that Chuck's computer tapped out as soon as he said his computer wasn't going to tap out?
Yeah. You're gonna realize
that's
yeah. All right. And a new face, even though we can't see him or whatever. A good friend of mine from last few years on the convention scene. Matt Arno joining us tonight. Matt, good to have you.
Try not to be confused how my voice sounds like Angelo.
We were talking about that during the course of the show or whatever. Real quick, just so everybody gets an idea. Where are you from, Matt?
East Coast, New Jersey.
Okay, yeah, like I said, I know I'm in the northeast corner of Jersey. I'm trying to think where geographically are you, north, south, or midstream or whatever?
Like latitude wise, I'm in between Philly and New York, so really, really middly.
So basically in the middle of nowhere in Jersey, right?
No, there's all the stuff here. This is like the third richest county in the country.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I consider some parts of Jersey to be the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. The term my family always uses is East Jabib. That's what we always call it. Others call it something else, but that's the way it is. And we seem to have one more new face, another familiar face with us. Liz Reed joining us. And what have you got going on tonight?
I am my favorite character from Persona 5, Futaba. I don't have her full outfit, but I got this.
You're playing up to Scott tonight, are you?
Listen,
you're
Persona
going-
5 is love. Persona 5 is life.
Yeah,
It's
no.
so important.
I
that we
will. I
spoil
will
everything
reiterate.
about that game
I will
tonight.
say all 3%. 3, 4, and 5.
Oh my
are
god,
life
yes,
for
he
me.
just said it, all three.
Yes.
All two. He said it.
Yes. I mean, I need to play
and
1 and 2
and
extensively.
the
like
portable
Persona
and golden.
Yeah, I'm working through Golden.
And-
I have not played very much of 1 or 2. I want to get the reboots. I have the originals right now. I have played all of
Nice.
FPS. I have played all of P3P. I have played all of Persona 4, working on Golden, and I'm at the final boss on Persona 5. I can't bring myself to finish it because then I'll be sad.
Yeah, because then there's.
Hey, but then you get to have New Game Plus, and you get to, and
Persona
just like
what?
in the other
Okay,
games,
you
you
need to play
Well, so I need to play that one. So what I'm gonna do once I finish Persona 5 is I'm going to play every game chronologically, including
Yeah, I get that idea. Yeah, that's the.
Persona Q, Dancing All Night.
I have Q. I have to
Also the
finish
cat.
that.
Q is Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah, I haven't
we're talking
finished
about it,
Q
it makes
yet.
it better than all the rest.
Q is a fan. Q is like a fan fiction.
It's Etrian
is
Odyssey.
a
It's
fan-
my
Yes.
fiction.
Great fan fiction.
Yes.
Are you gonna?
I just like the extra
It's the director of 1 and 2, and it's basically like that.
Yeah. But considering that all the work is done by the great Shoji Meguro, so
Oh, wonderful.
enough said.
Actually,
Well,
wait.
Citizen
I will be
Joe.
right back to the chat.
I got you. Well, we got a lot of great work to tonight. This is going to be a very busy 90 minutes for us, as much as we can help here. Because all right, now just to set the tone for what it is that we're talking about tonight. This list was established by Game Informer magazine. Scott, you've got the magazine there in question. Yes, there is the issue. It came out for. This was the first week of May. This issue came out, correct? That was the date of it, right, Scott? Okay. So
Yeah.
here's the deal.
About that time.
They posted their list of, as said, the 100 greatest RPGs of all time. Just real quick, easy joke. Okay, just real quick. Just explain real fast. Did they explain in the magazine exactly what their criteria was?
Nope. Just totally arbitrary.
Okay, well, hold on.
Yeah.
I know you have something important to say about that, but let's.
No, I mean I read through the article. It is
Oh, you've seen the article.
totally arbitrary. I mean, I could probably.
I'll give him
if I really wanted to, I could probably I don't know, call up Game Informer or something. But
Okay. Well, one thing that we should say, Gerald, and I know you wanted to say this before we officially started with the list, is that these you're right. These things are kind of arbitrary in terms of when groups rank these kind of things. So obviously, in terms of saying that this was better, and that one, obviously everybody out there take it with a grain of salt. But I know that there was like one other caveat that you were saying before we started, Angelo, that you had a little bit of concern with, at least regarding this particular list.
no, I mean, so here's my deal with lists in general. I don't think that it's really that simple to rate something as better than something else. The reason being because better has a lot of different connotations. Better can mean better for the time, can mean more historically relevant, can mean more popular, can mean more fun. We all have different criteria to decide what better means. And no matter what, whenever you look at one of these lists, and actually you should use the Wayback Machine to look at some of these lists from other points in time, you will always see a greater instance of recent games being put on that list as opposed to classic games. The reason being, we can remember recent games more easily. And even though you will see things, like Chrono Trigger and so on and so forth on this list because they're just that good, most lists like this end up having a huge amount of turnover. The RPG or whatever it is, action game, fighter, whatever it is, that is the best now will completely fall off the list in 3 years. And so while this is decent as a sort of cultural snapshot about what we care about now, it means very little when it comes to actual game quality.
Well, we'll see, and that'll be interesting. That if we're lucky enough to if they're lucky enough to be here still doing this in a couple of years or whatever the case is, and some other magazine decides to do this kind of list a few years down the road. It'll be interesting to see if in a few years from now which ones this list, where it is that they stand after the fact. I know you were also saying though something, Angela, that you were saying, I mean, don't give any specifics, we'll briefly call attention to them when they get there. You were saying that a couple of the ones on this list that you didn't even said that they really didn't fit the definition in your eye of a pure RPG.
I mean, I don't even care about purity. It's just that, first of all, our entire concept of genre for video games is crap. Like, we do a really awful job of, separating things into different genres. And maybe that's just because concept of genre in any media is crap. I haven't really decided. But most of these stories do not fit what we would consider an RPG. I'm using RPG as a definition of anything that would fall into the customary JRPG and ARPG formats. ARPG was popularized by games like Baldur's Gate or Diablo. JRPG is popularized a lot more by Final Fantasy. And there are games on this list that don't really fit either mold. They have RPG elements, sure, but games like Call of Duty have RPG elements, and we don't call it an RPG. Games like God of War have RPG elements, and we don't call it an RPG. And it feels like a lot of the examples here are cherry-picked as examples that were good and kind of have RPG elements, but don't really count as an RPG at all. I mean,
well, we'll see.
For as much as it matters, most of these games are good. It's just that I'm not entirely sure that a list of top 100 RPGs has any significance if you can't agree what an RPG is.
I'm sorry, guys. That was my dad. The cat. In myself.
I was as Angela was talking. No, I saw that you were having this with the kid there. Yeah, you guys can't see it obviously, but if you ever come to be a part of live chat here with us in here, we have a window on the side where we can talk to each other and things like that. And apparently while Andrew was talking about these things, Liz's cat decided to throw a lot of D's out.
Yep.
All right, so
That's my boy.
If I win a show again, I would, or whatever the case is. All right, but that's another thing for another time. All right. Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this. All right. So what we're gonna do is, all right, since Scott, you have the list in front of you here. Here's what I want you to do. All right. We're gonna read these off 10 at a time here, because like in trying to prep for which ones we wanted to talk about, there were a lot of names on this list that several people in here were wanted to call attention to and have a brief bit to say about them. So in the spirit of just making sure we get through everything and not be bogged down all day, we'll go through this 10 at a time, and if there's one in particular that anybody wants to bring up, we'll throw a quick mention of, because like I said, the big thing is we want to try and discuss, like I said, the names that are on this list, what makes them so great to begin with. So we're not so much worrying about why this one finished better than that one, but just what makes this a great game that caused them to say, hey, this should be on the list. So whatever it is. All right. So Scott, let's read through the first 10, going from 100 up to 91. So what do we got?
all right. Starting off at number 100, we have Tournament Tides of Numenera.
Torment Tides of Numenera.
Thank you. number
didn't say that.
90,
That was bad with pronunciation.
number 99. 3. Number 98, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. 97, Dark Cloud 2. 96, Lost Odyssey. Number 95, The World Ends With You. 94, Golden Sun. 93, Pillars of Eternity. Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together. And number 91, Bastion.
Okay, yeah, let us cling together. There's a title for you. So let me see. Now, let me see, Scott. I know. Let's see. You said you Golden Sun was one of your favorites there. Well, what in particular? What do you know about Golden Sun? What's the major premise there?
I'm not going to spoil it. It's one of those games where I will not spoil it.
There's a reason you got to. There's a reason.
I'll spoil it.
I like it so much.
Go ahead.
I will spoil anything.
That's it. No, it's fine. It's fine. You can go. You can go.
There really isn't that much to spoil for this.
There really isn't.
Or nothing.
Why is that, Matt?
Get some elemental spirits. Do some stuff.
Yeah. And then you go on an adventure.
And
You can have like a zillion different equipment. And then you find stuff in caves. Each of them has a special attack. It's cool. The summon system is amazing because you go around and you basically, every time you find a spirit hiding somewhere, you have to do some little tiny task to catch it, like to corner it or to fight it or to get something for it. And then, depending on how many you summon at a time, they'll combine and become like, instead of just being a random earth spirit, they'll be like Cybele or like, I don't know,
Anubis.
spirits. Gaia, I guess.
If you like Golden Sun, you should try Beyond the Beyond. That's its spiritual predecessor on the
Except
PlayStation.
there's one problem. Nobody likes Beyond the Beyond because it was so unpolished.
I mean, yeah, but I kind of like playing unpolished games to see where they come from, you know?
Oh, I know. It was the first English JRPG the US got. So that is definitely something.
Everybody's got
Well, I think Dragon Quest would have fit. I think Dragon Quest would fit that bill.
On PS1, I meant to say. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But all right. Moving on.
Liz,
Anyone else wanna-
you had something to say about Dark Cloud 2 here?
Yeah, I remember playing that when I was younger, and from what I recall, and it's been a very long time since I picked up this game, it had a really interesting crafting system, and the art style itself was very, I don't know, it was a nice
Anime
art
style.
Yeah,
Anime
it was.
style?
Yeah, it was a somewhat anime style, which I personally really like, but it wasn't quite like Kawaii Desune anime style. It was a little rougher. And I recall the crafting system being really good. I didn't get very far because I could not use that slingshot to save my life. But I do recall that the story was really interesting. Yeah.
That's me in Ocarina of Time right now.
But I want to revisit that one actually because I really did like it when I was younger.
I would like to see them make that into an anime. I would like to see them make Dark Cloud into an anime.
That would be cool.
How old is it?
It is by level 5, so I'm going to be glad to agree with it.
Well, it was re-released for the PS4 just recently.
Was it really?
No, I bought it. It was on sale, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up. All right.
Sounds
Moving
good.
on.
All right. So let's go. Let's take a look at the next here. I'll tell you what. Scott,
I need to say something about Twelly.
Oh,
No,
we missed the World Ends With You.
wait. Hold on. Which one? Torment? You said?
no, Twelly. The World Ends With You.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Good music.
Twelly
is underrated. It is one of the best RPGs I've ever played.
And yet it made its appearance in one of the Kingdom Hearts games.
I mean, yeah, because it was made by Tetsuya Nomura, who makes the Kingdom Hearts games, even Nomura himself has said that Twelly was the series he wants to make if he didn't have to be, constrained to Disney constraints. It's just fantastic. It has a really deep, darker than usual plot. It has a really interesting crafting system. It uses the DS hardware to the best of its ability, and its soundtrack is one of the best I've ever heard.
God, so
I
good.
will
It's like really pop inspired, and I find the game to be a real kick in the teeth because, like, when the game came out, I was just turning 14. I didn't play it until like 2 years ago, though. But like, this game is like, I know there's a lot of like, it's stereotypical to say that an RPG or a story like coming of age. The guy learns to not be a jerk and how to get along with his friends. But this is like literally the thing you realize when you're 14, like, just exactly how, even though you think your stuff is more important than other people's, or how you think you know your priorities, you really don't until you meet friends. It's like, it's so natural in that game. It was just like, wow, why couldn't I have played it back then?
Nomura is such a fantastic writer, and it is a crime that he is only kept like to his little space in Kingdom Hearts. I do hope that when Kingdom Hearts 3 is done, that he'll be able to move on to other projects. I mean, he's already talked about it.
Who says Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be the end?
Looking guns I've ever seen in
Yeah.
No, the dumbest looking guns have to go to Ruby.
But
that anime is a gun.
Listen, it's great. When we saw the gun, it was the best thing I've ever seen. It's a gun. It's also a gun.
But I do want to actually point something out before we move on to the next 10, because I'm going to do this because this is one of my main reasons for being here. The ones that aren't really RPGs in this 10 are Dark Cloud 2, Panzer Dragoon Saga, arguably Bastion, and Tactics Ogre. In fact, Tactics Ogre has its genre in its title. It is a tactical game. Yeah,
I absolutely consider Tactics to be RPG. Don't even start this one.
Question: who's the one calling this? Calling that out?
Me, Matt.
Right now.
Yeah, it's Matt.
Matt, how about this? You do that for every 10 as well too. Do that for every 10 we go through, and call out the ones that.
No,
that's me. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Except
we're
that's close, so that's fine.
Yeah, do that for every 10.
Yeah,
do that for every 10.
Great.
All right, let's get it. Okay,
all right, so moving on.
All right, so go ahead. All right.
We have Panzer Dragoon Saga. Yeah. Number 88, Radia Storias. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Vergent Story. At number
Story.
6.
Excuse me.
Those are two very different things.
Butcher a lot of these names. Pool of Radiance at number 86. 85, Might and Magic World of Zine. 84, Horizon Zero Dawn. 83, Xenoblade Chronicles. Park, The Stick of Truth, and 81.
Soon to be the fractured butthole.
And 81, Destiny.
Oh boy, I get all right right away. I have to ask Angelo about which one of these that definitely doesn't qualify. How the heck did South Park get on this list?
South Park is an RPG.
Going around talking to people and collecting stuff.
Thank you, Kenny.
South Park: The Stick of Truth is actually an RPG. It has all the.
It's fully an RPG. Don't even question it.
Yeah, I mean Horizon Zero Dawn isn't an RPG.
Charles wants to talk about
I learned something today.
Horizon Zero Dawn is an open world game, and it was in fact, advertised as an open world game. It's an open world exploration game. No one has called that an RPG, not even its designers. Odin Sphere was a 2D platformer, also called as such by its designers. It didn't even have levels or anything.
We didn't get to Odin Sphere yet.
Yeah. Oh, sorry,
we didn't get to that one.
That's
jumping ahead.
My bad.
He's been greatly anticipating this since we started talking about.
Yeah. Destiny, it's a little FPS RPG-ish. If you really want to call it that, I won't raise a stink. But once again, Call of Duty has similar, elements to it, so I'll give it a pass. But you're pushing it, so.
I want to talk about South Park's.
Go. All right.
Go ahead, Charles.
I'll bite Chuck. Go ahead.
Okay. The Stick of Truth is a funny RPG. I haven't played it, but I've watched numerous videos of it online. And they call it the new kid douchebag. That's so hilarious. They call him douchebag.
And how many times does Kenny die?
I don't know.
He's the final boss. It's zombie Nazi Rainbow Princess Kenny is the final boss.
Wait a minute. I love the part in the bank saying, well, let's just put this into a money mutual savings fund, and it's gone.
Oh boy.
I'm
We
very,
had 90 minutes for this podcast, and it's gone.
I'm very scared now, and I'm not sure I want to take that.
Okay,
piece
so
of
we definitely need to get to the really, really big elephants in the room, which is both Xenoblade and Tales of Symphonia. Who wants to talk about those with me?
I mean, apparently we're clones, so I'd do it.
I have never played Xenoblade.
How bad we talking here, Matt?
What do you mean bad?
Wait. You seem to have a bit of cringe in you in mentioning either of those two games.
No, I'm saying they're gigantic. I'm cringing at you people for not saying anything about them. Those are two of the greatest RPGs ever.
Oh,
They
no,
should
I
not
have
really,
something about Tales.
I'll give it credit. Yeah, I just haven't picked it up to play it yet.
Tales of Symphonia introduced the Tales series to the West. It was really fun.
Yeah, but then again, don't forget we still got the one that never got released over here, Tales of Fantasia.
We got a lot of things.
The
that
ones we
didn't get
don't
released
have
over
are
here,
Tales
but-
of Destiny 2, and we don't have Tales of Rebirth.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that didn't
What
come
about
out.
the very first Tales game?
Tales of Symphonia was the very first Tales game that sold well in the Western market. Tales of Destiny came out in the Western market too, but it didn't sell well.
But then again, we also never got Tales of Fantasia.
We
No,
did.
we
We got it on Game Boy
We
Advance.
got it eventually. We got remakes, but like,
Yeah.
but then
I
again,
have-
everyone played that on emulators, so whatever, you know.
Anyway, so
The-
Tales of Symphonia is basically one of the best stories about racism you'll ever hear, and the fighting system is not, it's like entirely real time, but like even though you can't move very much, and depending on your configuration for skills, you turn into like a range fighter or like a melee fighter over time. It's crazy. I love it.
I'm sorry.
What I thought was cool was I briefly played it in college because my boyfriend at the time played it, and I thought it was cool that you could have multiplayer fights within that like single player game. I thought that was something really interesting that I hadn't seen before.
So here's the thing. When you started talking about Tales of Symphonia, my good friend Rob, who is back here, nearly went crazy. And I need to check my food, so he's going to tell you something about Tales of Symphonia while I go do that.
Okay. All right. Good to see you, Rob. It's been a while.
All right. I thought I heard you say that Tales of Symphonia is one of the best stories about racism you'll ever see.
That's what Matt said.
Oh, what did I get myself into?
It's
only a half-hour show.
Oh my god.
No.
90 minutes.
Not really up to standard in Tales of Symphonia, and the way it deals with racism is, I mean, it's pretty just layered on tropes. Like it's
a really good story that
elf
has
Holocaust. They have the elf Holocaust. It's not really like an in-depth look at a nuanced look at racism.
No, I'm saying like as far as good stories that have racism in them as a theme.
I love elves.
I think a number of us.
In Dungeons and Dragons, I actually role play as a rogue elf.
Aren't you glad I let you in on this podcast, Rob?
Yeah,
Aren't you fantastic?
I really haven't talked to Rob in forever.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, I would talk about Xenoblade, but I want to talk about Xenogears instead. So.
All right, yes.
God damn it! Why are we clones? Anyway, continue.
We may be here all night, folks.
All right, moving on. Number 80.
71. Rattle them.
80. Odin Spear. 79. Dragon's Dogma. 78. Wasteland. 77. Radiant Historia. 76. Ultima 4. Quest of the Avatar. 75. Shadow Hearts 2. Covenant. 74. Monster Hunter Generations. 73. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. 72. Paper Mario. 71. Jade Empire.
Okay.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night is not an RPG. We literally have a genre called Metroidvania named after Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Which was
literally
well, Castlevania was also that game that Konami thought that wasn't going to sell. It became that sleeper hit as well.
Sure, but like that doesn't change its genre.
No.
That's pretty true. Yeah, I gotta really give.
And I will say this, I enjoy Symphony of the Night, not only for, the exploration part, I adore it for the music, and I went out and bought the soundtrack to it. It's sitting on my iPod.
Symphony of the Night, you should.
Yeah.
All right, give me one second, guys.
But the Saturn version has the two iconic tracks from the game as well too, and a couple more rooms to explore.
Yes, sounds good. Yeah, but whether it belongs on this list, that definitely stands to debate and things like that. So who knows with regards to that. Let me see. I noticed we got
75. Shadow Hearts Covenant just picks up where the story left off for Shadow Hearts, which is just basically a good art. I like it because it's more of a dark RPG, and you're not just mashing a button to say attack. You actually have a judgment ring, and you have attack zones that you have to hit in that judgment ring to hit to get the attack off.
Gotcha. Let me see real quick. Chuck, you said you're flashing me about Paper Mario. I figured somebody was going to jump in on Paper Mario.
Paper Mario is a very, very good RPG. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people loved that game. I had, my wife had that for a number of years, not only for the 64, but the GameCube version. But recently, it's been getting a little bit downfall. What gives, Nintendo?
Liz?
I adored Paper Mario because I was always waiting for that sequel to Super Mario RPG. And when they finally gave me Paper Mario, I got something at least a little bit akin to that, and that made my love for this series skyrocket.
I haven't played Paper Mario, but I have played Seven Stars. I have played Seven Stars. I haven't beat it.
As far as looking at it as a spiritual successor, Paper Mario is a wonderful game, and the Thousand Year Door, which was the second game, lived up to being it was a great sequel. A lot of the times sequels don't live up to that game, and I think they did a really good job with Thousand Year Door too.
Definitely, it's good there. And
Angela wants to get in about Radiant Historia.
All right, so Radiant Historia is this fantastic game that was made sort of in the vein of Chrono Trigger, which is another game on this list, which I'm sure that we'll all talk about. But once again, it's on the DS, and that made it kind of overlooked. It had an amazing soundtrack by Yoko Shimomura, and its entire concept was anytime you did something in the game, the timeline split. It was about the many worlds theory, right? And to make progress through the game, you would eventually get to a point...
This is heavy.
Yeah. Well, eventually you would get to a point where no matter what you did, you would end up, dying or something horrible would happen. And so what you would do is you would go back through the timeline and get an item or something from a different timeline, a different alternate future that you also caused, and then use it to solve the problem in the first timeline. It's really great. Tons of replayability.
Can I
highly
quote
recommend
Doc
it.
Brown on this? Can I quote Doc Brown on this?
I think we all can, Scott.
Yeah.
Great, Scott.
That's just crazy enough in its own right there.
Or David Tennant as the Doctor. Time is not the simple thing from cause to effect. It's more of this wibbly wobbly, tiny whiny stuff.
To say the least.
Doctor Who, I cosplayed as the 11th Doctor one year.
Yeah. There we go. All right.
And Tannen was also Barty Crouch Jr. and is now Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting in its own right when we get there. We'll probably have to devote a show to that one when we get to that point later. It'll probably be that too good to avoid. All right. Anyway, all right. Rattle off the next one. 70 to 61. What we got?
Undertale, Disgaea 1, Hour of Darkness, or Original Sin. 67, Path of Exile, 66. Whoa, hold on.
XCOM Enemy Unknown. I got it.
Yeah, I know. I thought I jumped the page. XCOM Enemy Unknown. 65, Mass Effect. 64, Darkest Dungeon. Valkyrie Chronicles. That's 62, Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
And 61, The Witcher 2, Assassins of King.
And of course,
Kings.
here we go with Undertale. All right, I figured this one obviously is one that everybody is gonna, or well, everybody except me probably is gonna want to jump in on. All right, Angelo, go for it. I know.
I want to know one thing. Hold on, I want to know one thing because we all know when Undertale came out, Matt Pat from Game Theorist gave the Pope.
I said that in the news fight. Yes, he gave it to the Pope.
Yep.
The main question is, did the Pope play it?
Yeah,
I don't know if the Pope played it, but he should. It's easily one of the best video games of all time. Like,
I have seen panels and anime conventions just dedicated to a playthrough of the game.
Undertale is a game unlike any other. Not because it has great graphics, and not even because it has great gameplay. In fact, I would hesitate to even call it an RPG because it has very few RPG elements. And its battle system is mostly bullet hell inspired. But it is phenomenal. It has one of the best written moral choice systems any game has ever had in the history of gaming. And it does more to make you care about its characters than nearly any AAA title has ever done. I
think one person here that I know can contest to that, and Bridget could contest to that.
The fact that it is at I mean, once again, I don't really put a whole lot of stock in rankings, but the fact that it is at 70 makes my head explode just a tiny bit. I honestly think Undertale is revolutionary. I think it there was that huge controversy when it won best game of all time on the GameFAQs poll. I didn't care. Give it to it. Like it is just such a phenomenal game. So it's so underappreciated. And if any of you haven't played Undertale, you should play Undertale. I cannot sing its praises enough.
It is a really, really good game. One of my friends cosplayed as Frisk from Undertale at a convention.
I like to
and last year Bridget cosplayed as
So we were in the 70s or the 60s? Hello.
I still got a bunch of things. I just want to say one thing though, and I said this when I was first doing the news bite last summer about Matt Pat giving the game to the Pope. Yeah, like you said, Angelo. Yeah, it would be interesting. Yes, if he played the game, would be even more whacked out though if he went for total genocide.
Oh Lord.
Like I said, that would, as I said in the thing again, and again, I'm Catholic. I don't mean to make it sound like I'm mocking religion or whatever, but it would bring new meaning, as I said back then, to the old phrase from the Book of John: "He whose sins you retain are retained."
Amen.
So,
I want to talk about 69 Disgaea. One simple word: exploding penguin.
Everybody loves exploding.
Holy crap, I just realized 70s had Monster Hunter Generations. Unfortunately, that's not an RPG, so I guess I gotta can it, huh?
You can say it's a good game. Undertale really isn't an RPG.
I can spend
I could say, Disgaea is more of a tactical style RPG game in the sense of like Final Fantasy Tactics and everything. It does have a story. But the crazy thing about it is you can go inside the weapons and level them up.
That was so crazy, yeah.
That's what's right there.
Crazy.
But I just love the fact of naming printies after people I don't like and just tossing them and watching them explode.
In college, one of my friends played over 500 hours of Disgaea, and he didn't own the game. He did that in my room.
500 hours? Are you kidding me?
What?
500 hours.
I have put in 100. I have put in well in the range of 140 some hours to Persona 3.
Right, what number are we on?
We gotta move. We gotta get to. Let's see where we're up to. We gotta get into the 60 through 51 now.
Yeah.
All right. So 60, Icewind Dale 2. 59, the spiritual successor to Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross.
Wait, did anyone say anything about Paper Mario?
Yeah, we got that one.
Okay, cool.
58, Tales of the Unknown, Volume 1. The Bird's Tale.
Bard's Tale.
Yeah, it was released for Nintendo.
Bad luck reading these things, Scott.
That was for Nintendo, PC, Mac, Amiga, Amstrad, Apple, Apple II, Apple.
57, Dragon Age.
Dragon
56,
Edition.
Fable 2. 55, Skies of Arcadia.
This is my jam here.
54,
Ah.
Grandia 2. 53, Star Ocean, the second story. 52, Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion. 51, Dragon Quest 8, Journey of the Cursed King.
All right, so there's the bottom half there. Wait, let me get my window back up because I got to find you guys there. But it's okay.
54, 54, Grandia 2. I haven't played Grandia 2, but I have played Grandia 3.
What platform was Grandia 2 for? What platform was it?
PS2.
PS2, Dreamcast,
Dreamcast.
and PC.
It wasn't PS2.
And-
Oh shoot.
Yeah, PS2.
I love it.
I mean, the
and
PS2 version.
I know they just,
the
and I
Dreamcast.
know they released the anniversary edition recently too.
You can get it on PC now.
Wait a minute, my
Probably on Steam.
yeah,
It's on the Steam store.
I got Steam.
Yeah.
Got there.
Guys, let's see.
Okay. Angela, you got something on Star Ocean, you said.
Yeah, so first of all, let me tell you that congrats to this list. Those 10 games actually all are RPGs, so hooray.
Hey, we finally hit one.
But Star Ocean Second Story, in
somewhere.
my opinion, is probably the best Star Ocean, and if I were to go even further, probably the only
I
Star
will
Ocean.
contest to that. I will contest to that. I would say Star Ocean to the End of Time.
Star Ocean to the End of Time is too long. It lasts till the end of time. But
and we're out of time.
Hey, who said there isn't truth in advertising?
yeah. But Star Ocean, Star Ocean is a really interesting little series. I like the original. I actually played it after the second story. But it's one of those RPGs that has a lot of systems. You can cook, you can forge weapons, you can create maps, you can break it 100%. And it also had a really cool real-time battle system. Back when multiplayer RPGs actually were multiplayer. Cough, cough, tails, cough. And it was just really good. I wouldn't call it one of the greatest RPGs of all time, but it's definitely one of my favorite RPGs of all time. So I would recommend giving it a shot.
I will recommend, even though it's not on this list, I will recommend Grandia 3.
Okay, so this guy's
This
okay.
series. Yep. All right, go ahead.
Well, it's basically a game about Yar har fiddle dee dee, you are a pirate.
Should we get Johnny Depp?
I wish. Wait, no. Don't you mean Robbie Rotten?
No, because Johnny Depp's a pirate.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know. I didn't even hear about that movie until it came out.
Oh,
I don't know how to describe the game except how well put together it is. It doesn't really do anything interesting as far as the story or like battle method as such. I mean, actually, the battle system is the most interesting part because
And it looks like one of those games that can be made into an anime.
over attacks. It's like because every action you take takes up like these points that we generate every turn, except for items. You can use them to cast spells, or like use them like bombs or whatever else, and that was interesting.
Yeah.
And every single thing in the game, kind of like Chrono Cross, has an elemental association.
But Chrono Cross, the whole thing was about interdimensional travel.
Yeah, too.
And Chrono Cross was a good game, even though I played like a demo of it.
Chrono
I
Cross
have
was
it
good.
on my
It wasn't Chrono Trigger, but it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not all they're cracked
Yeah.
up to be, but the ship battles were like certainly a thing in there.
Yeah.
Instead of spending time sitting people with swords, you could like load up cannons and dodge and do evasive actions and just launch gigantic. I don't know. It's like the whole game is like this one recipe you don't find anywhere else. I don't know how to describe it, unfortunately.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Is it safe for me to move on?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
Points for myself.
47, I'll be back.
right,
Brian
number
is off
50.
dealing with stuff, so we've mutinied and taken this taken control from him. So go ahead.
Number 50, Pokemon Gold and Silver. Or if we want to be politically correct on that one, Pokemon Silver and Gold.
I don't got it.
Where's Bro?
49, Xenogears. 48,
Yes!
Persona 3, FES. 47, Zelda Breath of Wild. 46, Demon Souls. 45, Mass Effect 3. 44, Fire Emblem Awakening. 43, Wizardry, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord. 42, Shadowrun. 41, Xenosaga Episode 1.
And don't even bother trying to say that shit.
I am not pronouncing German because I don't.
The reveals are mocked.
Wait. Somebody here knows how to say it?
That was me. The reveals are mocked.
I do not speak German.
I don't speak German either, but I'm a big Xenosaga fan. Also, who the heck thinks The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is an RPG? Who the heck thinks that?
Yes, I don't think any of the Zelda
I actually think it because, older Zelda games are more actually RPGs than that is.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the best Legend of Zelda game ever.
Breath of the Wild's a great game. It's not an RPG. I thought it was one of the better games of this year. It's not an RPG.
What about Link?
But yet, when they released it, they screwed up the timeline again.
Yeah.
I got some for that. I got some for about Link's cooking.
Have you learned that by now?
That's worse than the Kingdom Hearts series.
Fire Emblem Awakening isn't an RPG either, but if you guys want to give tactical RPGs a pass, sure, whatever. Demon Souls isn't, though. Demon Souls is a straight-up action game. I don't understand these people.
You want to go with me on Persona 3?
Let me tell you, Persona 3, also best game ever. Persona 3 is totally my favorite in the series. Fight me, everyone.
I like it. Yeah, but the one thing I like about Persona 3, not only but the whole storyline, I like the boss music for Nyx.
Battle for Everyone's Soul, that one.
Music is amazing.
Yeah,
Shoji,
I love that song. Well, Shoji Meguro has been doing the music for all the Persona games.
I co-host Juice live at Otakon last year. I literally went to Matsuri to see them.
Last year. I missed him last year.
Saw you.
But I adore Persona 3, and it's been my favorite of the Persona games, mainly because I really enjoyed its doom and gloom storyline. I thought it was great. I thought that they were really showing, and they do show this in other games too, but they were making this commentary on society. Get to Persona 5, I have more to say about commentary of society. But they were showing the apathy syndrome that everyone's facing where they're just laying around. I just thought the story was so creative. I thought the characters were, even though I disliked a number of the characters, I still found all of them interesting.
I found Junpei to be annoying.
Oh, I love Junpei. I tried to date Junpei. I mean, Akihiko is my favorite, and I guess it's best girl. But
of course, better than Ren. Better than Ren.
I'm afraid to ask.
It was a compelling story, and
see
the
played,
social link system, I think.
Yeah.
Awesome.
See, when I played Persona 3, I dated what's her name, Mitsuru.
Mitsuru.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Wait, there's actually a relationship angle within these things.
I dated.
Yeah, no, I guess.
Yeah.
Bonds with your friends, and the stronger your bonds are with your friends or social links, the stronger persona you can make. And eventually, they do make it so that you can date. And if you try and date a second girl, they get real mad at you for it.
Yeah, you gotta finish. You gotta finish off the one girl first before you can start with the other girl.
It's a real interesting fusion of more dating style social games and RPGs. I actually really like it.
We're getting into dating sims, just without getting into the questionable side of the content that I know exists in some of them.
No questionable content. Just shooting yourself in the head and the demons come out.
Yeah,
that's fine. You have to commit simulated suicide to prove that you were strong enough to summon the persona.
Summon Satan and fight Hitler.
Well, no,
my
they
God.
took that. They took that out of 2. They called
They
him.
didn't take anything out. They put shades in.
No, they gave him shades and they call him Fuhrer.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, that's fine.
All we're missing now is Colonel Klink to say, "I know nothing."
Sounds about right.
I want to talk about Breath of the Wild for a minute.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay, go ahead, Chuck. Because I got an interesting comment just with regards to all the Pokemons in general in the first place. But yeah, you said you wanted to talk about
Lavender Town.
No, that's not in. That's
Okay.
Gold and Silver.
I say
Yes, it
Legend
is Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Well, vaguely, but that's not the primary focus. Anyway,
Well,
who we got,
all the
Chuck?
haters out there say Breath of the Wild has a bad cooking system. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the best game ever. Better than Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess.
Yeah, but
No,
yeah,
wait a minute. Now wait a minute. I will fight that today. I will fight that.
Hold on, wait. We're missing the point though. But Chuck, the debate that's come up here is the idea that it's being listed here in an RPG list. Okay, and like I said, I agree with exactly with what Angelo said. The idea that I've never known one person in my entire life that has ever called any Legend of Zelda game an RPG. They've called it an action platformer in regardless of angles that they're doing.
I don't understand because like Link to the Past is totally an RPG though. It's like you put it right next to other games like Secret of Mana or Terra Enigma, and it's like it's an RPG.
I mean, not really. It was an action adventure back then too. Like,
The sad thing is, action adventure isn't the genre anymore. Now it's called action RPG.
I got something to say about Link's cooking, and I'm gonna screen share this thing, man.
Like
no.
You could like I mean, it's real simple. If you put like Final Fantasy VI next to Link to the Past, they're two very different styles of games. I'm
saying like you take like Secret of Mana instead though.
Well, like Secret of Mana is closer. Like that's definitely an action RPG, but like even that is really questionable. Like if you want to put it next to say like Terra Enigma or something, then yeah, like I see the sort of the comparison there, but I am iffy when I call like Secret of Mana or Terra Enigma RPGs. Like they're close, but they're very distinct from what we called RPGs at the time. Like you give a Secret of Mana fan you give a Legend of Zelda fan Secret of Mana, and they are more likely to enjoy it than if you give them Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger or something like that.
But the thing about Breath of the Wild is the music. Breath of the Wild has like really good music.
But what makes it an RPG in your mind, though, Chuck? That's the problem. Why did they put it on this list?
Well, the reason why it's an RPG because it has RPG elements. The swords, they keep on breaking. And
what the heck is an RPG element?
They broke the Fire Emblem.
Why just because it's got swords? Why does that suddenly make it an RPG?
They were degrading swords back in the NES days. Like,
correct me if I'm wrong. In Fire Emblem, don't the weapons break?
Yeah,
that's actually a good idea because I mean it's not a good idea in Awakening because you're allowed to run around in circles as long as you want. But for the fully linear Fire Emblem games, I think breaking weapons is a very good idea.
Yeah, real quick. Since you bring up Fire Emblem, real quick, a friend of mine, Connor Hanu, could not join us tonight for the show. However, he wanted to just make sure this got passed along because that's one of his favorites, and he said, he enjoys Fire Emblem because he said the characters have a lot of charm to them. There's not a single character he enjoys all the personalities in general. Not a single character seems, too bland or boring. He's also Owain. End of story.
All right, moving on. At number 40, Neverwinter Night.
We got the biggest one here of all, Xenogears.
You know what? I'll let you talk about it. Like, I love this game, and you could do it justice, so go for it. Like,
I really hope I can. Okay, so let's just take, an active time battle system game, and from that, let's make an almost apocalyptic story about the righteousness of the human spirit winning out against the more corrupted and weak and having, given up aspects of humanity. Kind of like, you know, I guess like villains would like Shin Megami Tensei or something. But then, what else? What was I gonna say? It was like,
It's too good. It defies explanation.
no, it defies explanation. And then like just add giant robots, add mythological themes, like make like some of the deepest characters you've ever seen. That like, if you even understand what an Enneagram of personality is, you find out that all the 9 characters that were considered for playability. So there's like 7 or 8 that are playable, and 1 that wasn't in. But you realize it whole makes this whole grid. So like, the characters were meant from the outset to be like perfect balances of one another, and just you have the music that's even better than Chrono Trigger by the guy that made the Chrono Trigger music in it, and then I don't know. It's just like, of all the games that make you wonder about what you're actually doing in life, you'd have to look for this one to justify, like, the righteous. I don't know. I'm gonna sound really corny now, but it's like,
no, point taken. Point taken.
So guys, I gotta go catch dinner. Sorry that I got a jet and I can't sprinkle my salt over you for the rest of the night, but this was fun.
I'll complain about the
I will catch you guys later.
Don't worry, we'll make sure we do the rest of this justice, Angelo. Glad you could get in with us.
Cool.
So again,
go enjoy dinner.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here, Scott. Here, let's go through the next ones.
Number 40, Neverwinter Nights. Number 39.
Got
38.
Outside.
The first one. System Shock 2. 37. Diablo San. 36. Fallout New Vegas. 35. Final Fantasy X. 34. Phantasy Star 4. The End of the Millennium. 33. The original Final Fantasy. 32. Valkyrie Profile, and 31. Ultima 7. The Black Gate.
Okay.
okay, so
That sounds like a board game.
Final Fantasy
an RPG on this list. I'm gonna say Valkyrie Profile should not be on this list because it's like the same thing. You go in levels and you beat people up. You don't like. I mean, they have RPG battles, but that's it. They had for it.
Yeah, that makes sense here. But we finally got a couple of Final Fantasies showing up on this list. You know, we had to get up here to this point. Liz, I know you were saying, Final Fantasy X, one of your big favorites here. What hits it for you?
So Final Fantasy X was the game that got me into the Final Fantasy series.
Same here.
I think it.
Same here.
Like, I think it has beautiful music. I think the story is wonderful. 10-2 is the game we don't talk about, where everyone dressed up, but you know.
Cannot be named.
10-2 was the one that.
I
I will say, Liz. I will say this. 10-2 was the one that got me into playing Final Fantasy.
I couldn't get into 10-2, and I think it was just I did not like that battle system. But I love 10's battle system. I had a crush on Aura. Let's be real.
I will say this. It took me a while to figure out how to use the darn spear grid.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. But I thought the 10 had this beautiful story. Definitely the little romantic child in me, and I say child when I was in, like, I played this game. Definitely wanted Titus and Yuna to be my future, and I wanted to wear Yuna's wedding dress. I thought it was so pretty.
Yeah. If you
You're
want,
basically saying X2 was a chick flick.
well, hey, wait, Liz. If you want, I know of. And granted, it's been a long time since I spoke with them last, but I know there's a couple of cosplayer girls down in Florida who have a commercial site that they sell cosplay. However, they several years ago when FF10 came out, they made Yuna's wedding dress, and it looks spectacular. I'll have to send the link to you. Granted, it's going to cost a pretty penny, but
that's okay. It would be my wedding dress. Let's be real.
I really
did. I wanted that to be my wedding dress when I was younger.
Yeah, well, no, that was one of the things that I was really fascinated about with it when I saw it. The fact that I'm saying like here's everybody spending like thousands of dollars on Vera Wangs and all these other styles or whatever. This one that these girls make, that I think if I remember the number, it's somewhere, I think they had it in like the $350 to $400 range or something like that. And like, this is a great looking wedding dress.
I will say this.
If you got with wedding dress fabric,
well, Liz,
if you got with wedding dress fabric, it would cost a lot more.
Yeah, Liz, you didn't hear me at the top of the show. I am actually speaking to a friend of mine who actually makes customized keyblades and everything. And I am getting them made in the style of the red and white dragon emperors from High School DxD.
Nice.
Is the person a prop builder?
Yeah. Talk to me after the show.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Yeah, talk to me. The one thing that I drew in on 10, Blitzball.
Oh my gosh, yes. That was fun.
I will say this.
Is that like Proto Rocket League when you think about it?
Blitzball to Final Fantasy X is like Quidditch to the Harry Potter universe.
My wife loves Harry Potter.
They should make Quidditch a real sport.
They need to make Blitzball a real sport.
It's triple tree.
All right, moving on.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm sorry. I fell silent there. No, I'm actually trying to find the site and find the picture of the dress. And
all right, moving on.
I found it. Wait. Give me 1 second here, Scott. Bear with me here. I'm gonna get this.
Seconds up.
Will you stop that? Okay. Give me. All right. Let me. I'll prove it to you here. Let me get it. Where did you go here?
And we are now into the top 30s.
Okay, hold on.
We're past the American top 40.
Can you guys see it here? Okay. Here I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's pretty.
There it is. Yeah. So yeah.
My heart. My wife, Cherish Ann Berman.
I can look at this and be like, come on, this is totally legitimate.
Oh, that is beautiful.
That's cool.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm saying everybody's spending thousands of dollars on wedding dresses and things like that. I could easily picture this being used and stuff like that.
It would need different fabric for certain parts of it because, like, that's a very like, the fabric doesn't look quite what I would picture as a traditional wedding dress.
Let me see what it says. White, high quality, fully lined satin gown.
Website, I can look it up. What's the name of the website?
Yes, they're mainly focusing on. I think satin seems to be the main.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that?
I think the boots I would do something different with. The boots look a little too shiny. The dress itself actually doesn't look very shiny, so that looks nice. But we can talk more about this later as I go on my fabric binges.
No, I get you.
We can save that for Liz. We can save that for another podcast.
Exactly.
Yes, I can talk about fabric all night.
Yeah,
number.
I'm sure somewhere down the road we'll have another cosplay thing or whatever. We'll figure it out. So who knows?
At number 30.
Okay, let's go through 30 through 21 here. What do we got?
Persona 4/Golden. Number 29, Suikoden 2. Number 28, Super Mario RPG: The Legend of the Seven Stars.
I play that game, I get lost in a phase, then I find out I'm stuck in Gino's maze. There are many secrets in the game. Mario helpers and peeps insane. Why we try to cheat at a really good game just sounds like crap and it makes you look lame. As you in the forest, all you do is follow these paths to hold on of your gaming life.
May I go on, please?
I'm a gaming god.
All right, at number 27.
Wait, time out. Wait. Matt, where in the world did you get that from?
Brental Floss.
Oh, just look it up. Look it up, man. Gino's Force.
It's on YouTube.
It's Brental Floss on YouTube.
It's not Brental Floss.
All right. 27, Earthbound /Mother 2.
Okay.
Number 26, Dragon Age Origins. Number 25, a game series that makes that makes the Zelda timelines look crazy. Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
4, Dark Souls.
Oh,
Number
God.
23, Final Fantasy 4. EverQuest. And sitting in at Blackjack, The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna throw this in just for a second because yes, I know everybody here wants to talk about Mario RPG. I'm gonna just get this in for I know Angelo left, but I know this was always one of my favorite bits from back in the disorganization days when we used to do spoiler. This actually this was Rob's part of the bit who you heard briefly before. This was how they described it, and I still remember the bit. FF4, the first game in the series to write a main cast larger than the maximum party size. Unfortunately, the first game in the series let the player control character switching was FF6, which means they had to come up with ways to get rid of the old characters. Bad writing. Your party would be burned, drowned, turned to stone, and blown up in various interesting ways, yet they all somehow seem to have survived, even if you didn't want them to. Except for Tella.
And what about Kafka?
No, that's 6. This is 4.
I don't know Final Fantasy. I'm sorry. I don't know anything before 7.
Don't worry.
That's pretty miserable.
That's in the bit too, so don't worry about that. So we'll get there. Let's see. All right, everybody wants to jump at the shot.
I think me and Liz want to jump in at number 30.
Yes.
Persona 4.
What do you got? For Persona 4. Okay, well,
I will say this. For Persona 4, Rise is waifu.
Oh, jeez.
The thing I like about Persona 4 the most is that it put the series on the map and brought it to the attention of everyone else. So for that, I'm very grateful.
And we also had 2 animes on it.
The anime was great. I laughed so hard watching that. They had movies for Persona 3.
And anime and the cutscene artwork was done by Studio Madhouse.
Yeah, they also had a stage show.
If you watch the opening credits to Golden, they actually say that the anime cutscenes were done by Studio Madhouse.
Nice. Persona, I'm very grateful that Persona 4 put this game series, brought it to the attention of everyone, because then we got the hype train for Persona 5. Persona 3 is getting attention, which is my favorite of the games. But Persona 4 is
they need to bring Naoto back. They should have got rid of the They should have not had Akechi in Persona 5. They should have just brought Naoto back. I love Akechi, a Predator.
Akechi is the love child of Naoto and Light Yagami, but that's another talk.
I will say this.
What I think was weird with Persona 4, having played Persona 3 like a year previous, is that Persona 4 is the complete opposite. It is, while Persona 3 is doom and gloom and we're all gonna die, Persona 4 was, let's catch a serial killer, la-di-da-di-da, everyone's a little bit gay.
While hiding it from your uncle.
Yes.
And making sure that and
getting the fox.
What was your nephew's name in that?
Nanako.
And making sure that Nanako was happy too.
Hey, Brian,
everyone loves Nana-chan, or as Teddy would say, Nana-chan.
No.
I do that.
I liked that Persona 4, I kind of wish they had done a little bit more with it, but I do like that they looked at gender and sexuality in a light that we didn't usually get from video games. And you didn't really see people who questioned their gender or sexuality, and I don't want to say too much on that because it's a huge spoiler.
Especially for 2 characters.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of them's not really a spoiler. One of them is very obvious early on.
Are you fine with me mentioning names? Fine with me.
Oh, I mean,
names?
I don't know if you guys want to keep it completely spoiler free.
Nah, it's fine.
We'll leave it open there. We'll hang on.
Well, I'll say this: Naoto and Kanji.
Best ship
Let's
ever.
do it quick. Okay, switching gears over. Chuck, you wanted to jump in.
I want to say something about Suikoden. The one game that I found confusing because it's a game where you have to make where you can have over like 108 friends.
Yeah, let me say something about Mario RPG for a second.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Okay, Mario RPG is clearly one of the best RPGs in the Mario franchise. It kickstarted the entire Mario RPG series, like Paper Mario. But forget all the current Paper Mario games. The original ones were the best. But this one left the game.
Don't forget about also the Mario and Luigi saga, the Mario and Luigi games.
We got a remake confirmed.
Uh-oh.
Can I read this? Can I read this from number 28? Can I read it?
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's from number 28, Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. Mario has played golf, race go-karts, played doctor. When Square first introduced Nintendo's plumber in the world of RPGs, it seems like the strangest journey to date. Thankfully, Mario's take on turn-based combat was incredibly thanks to unique 3D rendered graphics, a zany cast of characters, and a humor-packed story about recovering star pieces. Mario's first foray into the realm of RPGs remains its best.
The question is, we need Gino back. We need Gino back.
Best character that we'll never see again. Rest in pieces.
Oh, by the way,
there's always a way to make everybody live on.
Earthbound, probably one of the best. I would say probably the best, one of the best, if not a game that everyone should play.
I'll throw this in from our friend Connor Hahn threw this in with regards to Earthbound's here. Such a quirky, fun game. The gameplay, while basic, is really fun, and the story and charm more than makes up for any flaws the gameplay has. The comedy in the game is top-notch, and it has left so many memorable lines in his mind, such as the photographer's "Say Fuzzy Pickles." By far, he said his favorite RPG in the series, Earthbound. So,
I will agree with him on that. It is.
I gotta say, like, there's great music in RPGs and stuff, but like, the way the music in Earthbound makes you feel is honestly what the series is supposed to be about in the first place. Like, I mean, it's called Mother because it's supposed to be all about like family values and like what it means to be at home some places and like how terrible homesickness can feel and whatever else. And it's like the music really is perfect for that.
I'll agree with you on that one. One that I want to talk about, and one that I was actually talking to Paul about trying to do a panel with. And this is not solely stick to the Kingdom Hearts 2 game. This sticks to the entire Kingdom Hearts series. Trying to put that thing in chronological order.
It's fast confusing as the Zelda timeline.
Well, no, the Zelda timeline actually has a fixed timeline to it.
Oh, well,
it's just that Breath of the Wild screwed everything up.
Yet, though.
Yeah. Well, I say this for Breath of the Wild, I say that they should place it after Twilight Princess. We need Midna back. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
We need Navi back.
No.
Nobody wants Navi back, Chuck.
Tattle was great. Tattle's like, hey, don't ask me about everything.
Right. We need Skull Kid back.
Seriously, Chuck.
And I'm going to do the really unpopular opinion. More than any of you could ever hope to know, I love Spirit Tracks. So we need Ghost Zelda back.
Ocarina of Time.
Hell with that. No.
I'll take a DeLorean. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to think. I think we got the main ones in there and stuff like that. So we got there. All right, top 20 time. Let's do it.
Number 20, Diablo. Number 19.
You never seen it
Persona 5.
coming.
Number 18. Probably one of the greatest RPG games of all time.
And it aged way better than
I'm
70.
adding my own commentary to it.
Delete.
We don't have time. We gotta move.
Running short on time, buddy.
Final Fantasy 7. 17. Ultimata Online. 16. Secret of Mana. Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green.
And yellow.
Well,
We don't
yeah,
talk about
sometimes it put its own category, but we got the idea. Moving on.
Number 14. Deus Ex.
Deus Ex. That's how you Deus
I think
Ex.
Ben Yachty Croshaw made a joke about people.
Number 13. Planetscape Tournament. Number 12. Fallout 3. And number 11. Bloodborne.
Jeez, that's not even an RPG, is it?
I think me and Liz want to say something about Persona 5. The one thing I like about it,
because you guys have had a lot of Persona time here. We got.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'll be quick.
Talking about it. Sorry.
the one thing I guess we can both agree on, they brought the negotiation part back with the Personas.
No,
In a
yeah,
way
that
that
one
didn't
was
suck.
beautiful.
Wait, it didn't suck.
I hated it in the first game.
I admit, when I first saw that, I was like, they got rid of the card system?
I mean, the games where
And I
negotiation is
like-
good are the ones where negotiation scales with your level. The higher level, the better it works, just automatically.
Negotiations in this one work with the politician social link.
Oh, don't bring politics into this, please.
Final Fantasy 7. One thing.
Wait, can I talk about Persona 5 real quick?
Go ahead.
I have very concise points to make about this game, I swear.
Go ahead.
Gnosticism.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Persona 5 is the game I waited 9 years for. Like, since I played Persona
Same
4,
here.
I've waited for this game. And the thing is, what I love about Persona 5 is they brought back that darker atmosphere. They made a mature game. They looked at their audience and they said the people who played Persona 3 and 4 have aged almost 10 years. We need to do something mature. We need to bring it into this more, like, we're looking at more adult characters, even though they are teenagers. And I just love how they managed to do that. It's really amazing, and it was an incredible sequel, and I cannot wait for what else they do. Also, are we going to get a remake? Probably.
I will say this also in regards to that. I want to cosplay as Yusuke.
Futaba
I
is
want to
best
cosplay
girl.
as Fox.
Futaba is waifu.
Not far yet. I haven't gotten up. Final Fantasy 7. The only thing is, Sephiroth has his own theme music.
What about Eris dying? What about Eris dying?
Too sad we don't talk about that. I cry every time. I cry about that. Number 15, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, and Green. 2 words. Lavender Town Syndrome.
Oh, stop. You go too much into creepypasta, man. Seriously.
Pokemon
I understand there's a reason. I mean, make no mistake, folks. In case you haven't figured it out by now, for us being around the last few years or whatever, as to why we call ourselves Lost Silver Productions, take a wild guess. You know,
I got something to say about Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, and Green.
As do I. Go ahead. You first, though.
I think that is a great way to introduce the Pokemon franchise. It literally put Pokemon right on the map. Like with a bunch of other games, I love Pokemon.
Yeah, but here's the interesting thing, because I remember, like I said, I was telling this to Scott before we started the thing tonight, because when I was telling Scott about some of the things that Angela was saying about some of the other games on this list not really being RPGs, and I remember, Scott, you were telling me that initially you didn't even you weren't sure whether to consider Pokemon an RPG or not. But as I told okay, well, but as I told you, and I'll say this to everybody else, yeah. It's really in sort of a backdoor sense, Pokemon is an RPG, and here's the reason why. If you consider the basic elements of what you see in a lot of pure classic RPGs, you're talking about how you are leading some kind of band of heroes. Each band of heroes has like their own ability set, their own skill set, their own weapons, their own move lists, or whatever you want to call it. And you are traveling from land to land, and you're trying to accomplish tasks within those different places. Beat the lords or bosses or whatever the case is and all that stuff like that. And the thing is, all of that is happening in every traditional game of the Pokemon franchise. The only reason why it doesn't quite seem like it's an RPG is that you, the actual trainer, are not the person actually fighting. The people filling the traditional RPG roles are your Pokemon themselves. So, but it's like, but they're not the ones physically traveling. They don't have their place to serve a role within the game, within the traveling without you. So in a sense, that's the part that feels like it doesn't seem like an RPG, but everything else about it really genuinely is. So that's why I consider it a backdoor to that perspective. We don't see a reasonable agreement. Argument, rather.
Yeah. You know what I got right here in my hand?
Oh boy.
Tonight's top 10 list.
Okay. Oh, okay, Lloyd.
Okay, David Letterman.
Yep. I'm going to do this in the style of a top 10 list. And tonight's topic for top 10, the top 10 the top 10 remaining RPG games that we have not yet talked about. Number 10, Final Fantasy Tactics. Blur's Gate 2, Shadows of. Number 8, Diablo 2. Number 7, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. Number 6, WoW. Number 5, Witcher 3. Number 4, Mass Effect 2. Number 3, Chrono Trigger. 2. Final Fantasy 6, aka Final Fantasy 3. Number 1, Skyrim. Number 1, Skyrim. And number 0, D&D.
Okay.
And
we say about that only because of the fact that, like I said, it's not in the video game sense and stuff like that. But be that as it may. But let me see here.
I had to throw tribute to David Letterman on that one.
We've got our reasons and stuff like that.
I miss old Dave.
Yeah, I think we all do. Okay, we deserve to miss it here. Okay, real quick, I'll say, and again, I'm going to get Angelo interjected here from both personal memory and from conversation we had earlier today. When he was, obviously, this list, seeing Skyrim be the number 1. I know that's something that is going to obviously be a debate for a lot of people that are hearing this list for the first time and stuff like that, however, because this is what he told me this afternoon. He was saying, yeah, right now people are saying Skyrim is the best RPG ever, but why? When it released, it barely played on any platforms. It was broken, quite literally. It was fun, but it only applies to people who liked one type of RPG, the American open world RPG, something that didn't even exist in the 16-bit era. Meanwhile, Chrono Trigger, which was number 3 on this list, and Angelo says one of his favorites, is also considered the best.
Same here.
But it's considered the best largely because it was being made in an isolated market. It holds up, but it appeals to no one who plays RPGs for a more open-ended narrative purpose. So there's obviously going to be some debates on that. And
the one thing is also about Chrono Trigger, the trial scene to that is also the music. If you listen to it, there's some similarities to one of the songs from Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Interesting.
I'll tell you guys after the show. We'll talk about it after the show.
So speaking of not RPGs, but if you're really desperate, you could be an RPG. Ace Attorney, because you said trial. So we're going to drop that right now.
Objection!
Don't even try me. I've played every single game in the series, including Great Ace Attorney.
Well, what did you think of the anime?
I'm a fan, so I didn't watch the anime. You see?
I will say this. I will say this. In Dungeons and Dragons, I play a rogue elf. That's all I have to say.
Play a rogue elf.
I go around
a couple of times tonight.
Yeah, I go around shanking people.
Gotcha. All right. And let me see here. Real quick. All right. And Final Fantasy VI. I almost forgot it was on the list. I thought they missed it or whatever. But sure enough, there it is at number 2. And I'm gonna another memory from back in the day. Yeah. Final Fantasy VI. The game rated the best Final Fantasy ever by the American Association of Gamers, who only play the first 5 minutes. The opening implies that your characters will get to wield guns and ride giant robots, but once the player is firmly attached to his controller by a petrified stream of his own drool, the plot veers sharply back into the same old Squaresoft shtick. You control a ragtag team of heroes who band together to save the world from the evil empire of Vector. But once you defeat Vector, it turns out there's a greater enemy. Tenzers? No, clowns. Here comes Kefka. So anyway, you try to keep clowns from destroying the world. You fail. But it's okay, because Ragnarok is no more than a mild inconvenience. Everybody you love and care about comes through perfectly fine. And in best Final Fantasy tradition, even people you hate and want to get rid of come through perfectly fine. This tradition was broken in later games, but not nearly often enough. In fact, once the world is destroyed, you get even more useless characters, including an insane clown of your very own. And at this point, it doesn't even matter how the story goes, because they had to write the dialogue for 1,001 possible parties, which is the writer's equivalent of shooting yourself in the foot with a nuclear missile.
Oh, Jesus, take the wheel.
That was
So wait, the Twilight of the Gods actually happened in 6?
Something like that.
That's technically what Ragnarok is. It's Loki basically wanting to destroy the entire world.
Yeah, and to a point, Kefka succeeds, you know?
No, we don't blame Kefka for that, nor do we blame Sephiroth. We blame Loki for that. That is Loki who... Yeah, because Loki wants to destroy the world. Reasons.
At some point, everybody wants to destroy the world. We feel that way now sometimes.
No, I absolutely feel that on a regular basis.
Hey, Ryan.
I'm not kidding.
This world is going to end up like what happens in the Kingdom Hearts games. We're going to be plunged into darkness.
Hey, some people wonder that about the Final Fantasy series.
Oh, I gotta point this out. I haven't gotten all the way through, but if I'm correct, I think Final Fantasy: The Four Heroes of Light has a similar thing. It's just called Darkness Falls, and it's the halfway point, and it's where shit gets real.
Probably.
But shit gets weird.
Where it gets real.
But that's what happened in Final Fantasy VII after Aerith dies. I couldn't play the rest of 7
what does the rest of the
after
world care?
I couldn't play the rest of... I couldn't finish 7 for the one reason. I couldn't stop crying after Aerith died.
Someone told me that she lived and that there was a way to make her live. It broke my heart. They lied.
Talking about that game theory.
Lies. No, but here is my thing about it. She died in Final Fantasy. Why the hell is she in Kingdom Hearts?
Because fan way.
You die in your game. You go to Kingdom Hearts.
Fan support. That's what it is. A fan outcry. It'll always work that way. Haven't you learned that by now? So
no.
All right. Well, hey.
Anyway, guys, that was our cover.
We managed to get through all 100. We thought we weren't going to make it, but we somehow pulled.
That was a terrible mess, and I need to work on my sentence.
Consider this, like I said. Obviously, people out there, you're not going to agree with all the choices. That's part of the fun of it. But who the heck knows? That's the way it all goes out there. Real quick,
I want to throw this out.
A couple of you guys are plugging.
I want to throw something out. I want to throw something out.
What's wrong?
I wanted to throw something out. If there's a game that you think that should have been on the list, leave a drop in the comments.
Of course, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah, that's the deal. Naturally. Real quick before we go, a couple of plugs that a couple of you guys are mentioning in here. Liz, you said, what is this about an orchestra thing?
Oh, back when we were talking about Final Fantasy VII, I'm part of the Baltimore Gamer Symphony Orchestra. We play exclusively video game music. We are an orchestra and a choir. We're always looking for new members. You don't really need to have any formal experience. We just like having new people to come play video game music and talk about games. Yeah. No,
Liz, once once I get my bass tuned and learn how to play it, I'll be glad.
yeah. Come join. We welcome everyone.
Ocarina.
Definitely sound good there. We'll get
There
there.
you go. We have a lot of people who play like Ocarina on the side. It's really fun.
So good. All right. All right. Here, check real fast. You get one and two. Yeah, because we're about to run out of time. Go ahead.
If you're looking for a great ocarina at a great price, check out www.stlocarina.com.
That's your thing, or oh no, that's where you get stuff from.
All my friends work for the company.
Oh, okay. So no, glad we could get a plug-in for your friend there. Yeah. And real quick, just so the people know when I showed the dress here and stuff, whatever. That's if you go to setsunaco.com. I'll spell it in the listings down at the bottom here once we get out. So look in the description below where you'll get the proper spelling there. All right, we got. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. You get yours in too, Liz.
Hi, I do a bunch of cosplay stuff, and if you ever want to check out any of my cosplay, you can go to Memento Cosplay. Yes, it's Memento from Persona 3. I've never regretted my choice. I am on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and yeah, that's it. I'm on those three.
Exactly.
Memento Cosplay.
I'm just on Facebook and cosplay.com with mine.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll go around and we'll leave as many links as we possibly can so you can find us in so many places. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe here, and of course, and all that business on Facebook and everywhere in between. Find us everywhere you can. Subscribe to all of us everywhere you can. We got to get out of here. We're over time. We'll see you soon for the next episode of Convention Attention. Take care, gang. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.